Welcome to the Lead Love Legacy podcast with Allie and Andrea.
That's you.
And that's you. In each episode, we'll take you behind the scenes of our journey from Texas, building the United Kingdom's legacy cheer and dance.
The real stories, the lessons, and the leadership truths we've learned along the way. And we'll connect them to the ethos and character traits that can help you step into your own leadership and life with more confidence and joy.
This is the L3 podcast. Let's dive in. Hey, Allie, I am so excited. Guess what I'm doing this week? One of the many things I'm doing is I am working through thousands and thousands and thousands of legacy cheer and dance photos to organize some things on just what needs to be archived and what goes where. But here's the coolest thing. I have seen this pattern, this unexpected pattern that just escaped me in the other busyness of life. Mm-hmm. It has escaped me because right now we're working on difficult projects and big decisions and things that are hard. And sometimes I find that in life, when we're working on really hard things and big decision things, and it's not easy, that we forget about the good patterns in life. And I saw a good pattern that comes out in the faces of our performers, the athletes, the dancers, and the cheerleaders who are performing at Legacy Cheer and Dance. The joy is so, I can't even get my words for this, and I'm supposed to have a word.
It's insane. Like it's overflowing. And sometimes
it's overflowing,
where
it's fulfilling.
Yes.
Where it gets what? It's overwhelming to me to see, oh, this is what it's supposed to be again. It's not supposed to be this hard. This is why it's worth it. And I just...
No. But to your point, Andrea, it's that joy. And you're saying it's not supposed to be this hard. The bottom line is life a lot of times is hard. But I think that joy, the reason it's so joyful is because it is hard. And because everybody that reached that joyful moment that you're seeing in the snapshot moment of a photo or a reel or whatever it is, I think the reason the joy is so big is not because it wasn't supposed to be hard. It's because it was hard. They did it anyway. And that is the moment captured that goes, yes, I can do hard things. That was so incredible. And here I am with the people I love doing the thing that I love in spite of it, yes, being hard. And that's what's building the confidence. That's what's it wasn't like that you went to practice every single time and you're like, yeah, let's go. This is hard. Sometimes you go to practice and honestly, you may not want to be there sometimes because life is hard and things are in the way. And sometimes you have to sacrifice. And then you get on to the event and you're about to compete and you're super nervous and all of these things. And you start worrying about things you shouldn't worry about, but it's human. So you maybe worry, what if it doesn't go as planned? What if I mess up?
Well, actually, that's another pattern I saw. So I'm looking again, thousands and thousands of photos. I'm looking at thousands of photos from a cheerleading and dance competition over a long period of time, over a lot of ages and a lot of skill levels. And the patterns that I'm seeing, not only am I seeing the great joy, but I'm also seeing every other emotion that comes with it. So I'm seeing the nerves, I'm seeing the fear, I'm seeing the tentativeness, I'm seeing the focus and the concentration. It's in the body language, it's in the faces. And the reason I'm studying it is because part of the process that I'm doing is figuring out what are the public relations photos, what's the marketing photos, what's the hero moment that we can put on a poster somewhere. And so
it's hard to narrow that down.
Yeah, you have to narrow it down. But what's interesting is that the process of doing it shows you these layers. And it's so hard to remember in the moment how much fun it is until you go back and see this pattern. And you get to experience it over all of these ages and skill levels and experience levels.
And layers of, like some of the biggest joy moments that are captured are from the coaches cheering their teams on because they're so proud of their athletes. Some of them are from the parents themselves who are both nervous for their kids and so thrilled to watch them do their thing. I mean, that's one of the greatest joys of being a parent. So you get all these levels of this is awesome in photos.
Yes.
How fun. Okay. How did
so,
you get to do all of this and not me? I'm going to jump in and
I can
photos with you or whatever.
There's a lot. Like there's a lot you can go through. I welcome the help, but also just the feeling of joy that comes out of that process. So it's fun. Okay. So.
Oh. What?
Okay. So not everyone can see your phone. We'll put it on the screen if you're listening and can't see the screen. This is a photo of 4 young cheerleaders sometime in the performance setting. And they're
at first glance, Andrea, like you could have missed this, but at first glance, this photo could have just meant, they're having a blast. Great. But I know what you're talking about here. I totally know right what you're talking about here. This is so awesome.
So here's what it is. There's 2 of the 4 athletes are holding up the sign language sign for I love you. So if you make a fist and extend your pinky finger, pointer finger, and thumb, I love you, with pure joy on their face. I mean, this is a happy moment for them. They're both hands for all athletes in this picture. So two on the left, left and center, are doing the I love you sign. And then I don't know what the choreography was going on here. I don't know if this was a mistake or on purpose or what, but I'm going to just call this. The other 2 we're close to the I love you, but instead of doing the pointer finger and the pinky finger and the thumb out, they wrap their thumb around their finger. So the only fingers pointing are the pinky and the pointer finger. They're holding their hands up in what Allie and I and many other people know as the universal symbol for the University of Texas Longhorns, which is where we went to university. It's where the roots of all this started. And we could talk about that connection.
Those are our cheerleading days. So
that picture is pure joy. It's I love you. And it's Texas Longhorns. Do you see why I love this?
First when I opened it, Andrea, I had to say, I was like, how is this your favorite? And then I saw their hands and their faces, and I totally get it now. Like, of all the pictures, it speaks very loudly to you and I personally, because I love you was such a personal thing in our house. We have several staff members who are there. It's BSL in America. Of course, it's ASL who signed the I love you sign, but we've done that our entire lives just with our kids and things like that. But more importantly, it very much let's just talk about the I love you sign. That leans so much into our why. That is 1000% why we have done what we've done with Legacy. And it has been a labor of love to give love. It's generative, and it speaks so much, I think.
But it's not just our love. It's literally, if you think about what our coaches doing, what our parents doing, what our teammates doing for each other, what our judges doing who travel. Judges have regular day jobs, and then they travel on the weekends to judge. What are the event staff members doing? Again, regular jobs, spend their weekends coming and giving of their talents. Everyone who's involved in the equation of not just Legacy Cheer and Dance, but literally all youth sports, all competitive youth sports, everyone is exhibiting this labor of love. It's a journey of love. It's a love letter. And the sign language thing makes me so happy as well, because for those of you who don't know, I am severely visually impaired. So it's an inclusionary thing. The fact that it's a place where diversity and disability and any other aspect of individual differences doesn't matter. It's a place of acceptance, and it's a place of love. And as you say, it leans so much into our why and why we do what we do. This is why I love this photo so much. There's so many reasons. Isn't that fun?
Well, but also too, it's for me, because they're so young. And I mean, that the joy that you were talking about, Andrea, on their faces is just like there's the hope. There's the optimism in a world that needs it so badly. It's, again, why we do what we do. It is, how do we take a world that's hard to grow up in, hard to parent in, hard to coach in, hard to lead in, and how do you take the generation behind us and bring them up and make it better for them? And how do you provide the hope and the optimism? And for me, that's their faces 1,000%. And it gives me hope for when our generation is gone, that the generation behind us is really, really incredible. And the joy and the intention behind it is so powerful.
Well, I think there's a lot to be said for optimism and hope, because right now we live in a world where it feels like that's harder and harder to find. But I think what's important for us here is that optimism and hope is a skill. I know we all want it, and we all think it's hard to come by right now because the world is hard right now. But it's a skill that we can practice on purpose and learn and purposefully look for and create for ourselves and create for others in our lives. And when you look at a photograph of young athletes with that optimism and hope painted all over their face, it's hard to not be affected by that. And if you're not affected by that, having the conversation about it and being purposeful about looking for it and soaking it in is part of what it looks like to be purposeful and practice it. In fact, a lot of times we'll say, like, if you feel down and out, or if you feel sad and you're not sure how to lift yourself up, go lift someone else up. Go create optimism and hope for someone else, which is the quickest way to create optimism and hope for yourself. And that's what these kids are doing. That if you're coaching those kids, congratulations, you created some real optimism and hope. And we're looking at that now from Texas, so excited about optimism and hope that show up in that picture from the other side of the world.
Yes. And I don't know if that was that picture from last seson, Andrea, or from
I can't remember off the top of my head. It was probably pretty recent.
I think I not only does it just radiate optimism and hope, these young ladies are literally honoring the number one rule at Legacy, which is have fun. That is literally what they're doing. And for me, that is what it is all about. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about the other two young ladies in the picture who were giving us the Longhorns.
The Longhorn sign is not, it's not just iconic for us. Well, first of all, it started from cheerleaders. So that's how it got started at the University of Texas, was with some cheerleaders. But the Longhorn sign is representative of the mascot at the University of Texas, which is the school where Allie and I had our university cheerleading career. And this is a school that's very proud of not just the mascot of the Longhorns, not just the sports program, but literally the culture of what it is at the University of Texas and the impact that the academics and leadership from the University of Texas can have. And it's a reflection of the incredible leadership that Allie and I were privileged to be a part of when we were able to learn and grow with our University of Texas teammates, who to this day remain some of the most important friends and relationships that we have in our lifetime. And Austin, Texas will always be a place in our heart. And Allie, you just moved to Austin. I'm a little jealous because I'm in Houston, and I love Houston. Houston's home, so that's fine.
Well, you would not be jealous of all of the moving and unpacking of boxes that I'm doing right now.
You do have moving boxes.
It does. I can't even explain how thrilled we are to have the opportunity to be back in Austin, where our cheerleading days shaped us so much. And to this day, the people that we had the privilege of learning from and being around, and the relationships that we built through our Texas cheerleading days still exist and are magnified to this day. There's a slogan that Texas has, and it says, "What starts here changes the world." And it speaks to academically and everything else. That is 1000% true for us and for so many people who are lucky enough to attend school here. But fast forward to this day and this moment, as I look back at our years at school and with our teammates, it's been so special. And moving back, I have to say, Andrew, we just moved last weekend, so I've only been here for a couple of days. Things are chaotic, and you get in at midnight and everything's exhausted.
Everybody's moving trucks. Everyone's exhausted. You've been working hard. It's kind of like building a cheerleading competition. Everything's in boxes and trucks, and you got to just kind of get everything in the door and set it up.
It's load-in day times 1,000 right now.
Yes.
But it's in my favorite city in the world right now, and I'm so happy that we're here. But most importantly, to your point, Andrea, the relationships that we built at Texas Cheer still exist today. And by 8 a.m. the next morning when we arrived, we arrived at midnight. So by 8 a.m., I open my eyes and I have texts from teammates who are, well, former teammates, of course, but who are literally saying, "Welcome home." And they give me one of these emojis and they give me heart emojis, and it feels like home. And it feels like home, not just because of the city, not just because of the university, but it mostly feels like home because of the friendships and the relationships that we have here that exist with such rich history. And you go through so much as a collegiate athlete, and that's a time of your life when you're also personally going through so much. And the depth of the relationships have been really, really important. And to this day, we watched each other all get married. We watched each other all have our children. We watched each other, as our children are flying the nest. And
but you know what we've also done?
Really
we've also watched and stood with each other when we all had various crisis in life as well, because life isn't just perfectly smooth. It's not linear. So there has been various situations where people have had various things and we could lean in with each other. And again, that's when you pour out the "I love you" the most, when you can, divide the challenges and multiply the joy. That's a big deal. And that's what the relationships look like. That's what optimism and hope looks like. And that is what is in the photograph that I saw and took a deep breath and just went, this is what we're here for. And y'all, if you're watching,
you found that, I'm glad you shared it with me. That's so cool.
I know, I love it. And y'all, listen, if you're watching or listening today, here's the challenge that I'm about to give you some homework, but it's good homework. I really want you to think about this conversation of, what does this look like in your world? What's the why behind what you're doing? Why are you cheerleading, or why are you dancing, or why are you coaching, or why are you going to work every day, or why are you studying what you're studying, or why are you taking on the relationships that you have, or why are you parenting, or why are you talking to the people that you're talking to, or doing the things that you're doing, or living where you're living, or living life that you're living, or what is it that's really driving you? Because those are the things. It's not just the things that's going to help you get through the hard days or make the days easier. It's also going to change the impact that you have. So why are you doing what you're doing? And that's question number one. And also, who's in it with you? Who are you allowing access to that journey? Who are you putting in there on purpose? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Who will empower you? Who are those teammates that Allie was talking about? And then also, who needs a boundary? Maybe who's not the right fit. And I say that with all positivity.
Who's not lifting you up and the mission and the legacy that you are trying to build.
Yeah, they're either lifting you up to help you be that legacy, or they're not. Like, it's a yes or a no.
Yeah. So I think it's a good question. Why are you doing what you're doing? And who are you aligning that with in your day-to-day life? Because the people around you are going to matter tremendously. Not only should they be lifting you up, they should also be holding you accountable to the most important things in your life. And I can't wait to hear this. You guys
Yeah.
have to send us your answers where you can, or your questions.
Yeah, talk
I
to
think
us on the
that'll be fun.
platforms where you see us. It's going to either
Yes.
be on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. So send us your
I'm
messages, send us the
excited, Andrea.
DMs. I want to hear what's your why and why are you doing what you're doing, because that's part of building
Yeah.
optimism and hope and purpose anyway. You have to know where you're going. So why you're doing what you're doing, that makes the most sense.
This has been fun.
It has been fun. And I want to hear everyone's conversation. So thanks for listening with us today. And thank you for making it special.
We'll see you guys next time on the L3 podcast.
Thanks for joining us today on the Lead, Love, Legacy podcast.
Remember, lead boldly, love deeply, and live your legacy.
If this episode encouraged you, like and subscribe and share it with someone who needs it.
And join us next time as we continue to build leaders and legacies for life.